I don't think I've ever been this close to turning in my Steelers fandom card as I am right now. I'm smiling just because there's nothing else you can do about this game. It was so utterly horrible and ridiculous that you just have to kind of smile and laugh about it because it's just so god-awful. It's a 16-16 tie at Heinz Field with the Detroit Lions. Pittsburgh had an opportunity to take the top spot in the division this weekend because Cincinnati was on a bye week. Cleveland lost to New England pretty badly. And Baltimore somehow lost to Miami. Pittsburgh could have been number one in the division. And they lose. No, it feels like a loss. They tie somehow with the Detroit Lions. In one of the most horrendous games I've ever seen. I just wanted it to be over. I wanted it to be over so badly. And it should have been over an hour ago. It's 4:44 right now. It should have been done at 3:44. But it wasn't. And now Pittsburgh has split. This is the rest of their schedule. They get the Chargers, then they get the Bengals, then they get the Ravens, then it's the Vikings, then Titans, then it's Chiefs, then it's Browns, then Ravens. And there's no bye week in any of that. You get to go straight through all those teams. All those teams, except for the Vikings, are probably going to be playoff teams this year. Maybe Kansas City won't make it, but even if Kansas City doesn't make it, they're probably going to be the most threatening non-playoff team there is. And Minnesota took Baltimore to overtime not too long ago. So I just, it blows my mind. This was supposed to be the easiest win on your schedule before you go into this hellish final stretch of the season. And you blow it? It's beyond recognition. I mean, it's beyond explanation. You can't explain this to me. Detroit had a pretty good offensive game plan coming in. They only threw the ball 24 times. That's a good game plan. They ran the ball. And they ran the ball successfully against a defensive front that doesn't have Stephon Tuitt. It doesn't have Tyson Alualu. And we don't know when Alualu's not coming back this year. He's done with the season. We don't know when Tuitt's going to be available. I frankly wouldn't count on him coming back at any point this year. Based on what was happening so far, there's just no reason to believe he's coming back, in my opinion. Just let him have the year off. Mason Rudolph. Honestly, I thought Mason Rudolph was going to be the reason we're going to lose this game. I thought going into this game, all we need is for Mason Rudolph to not lose the game and just let the defense win it. Turns out Mason Rudolph really wasn't the problem. Was the interception bad? Yes. Did it really hurt Pittsburgh long-term in this game? Not really. I mean, did he ask him? No, this is Mason Rudolph's fault too. Because there was an open touchdown Pittsburgh should have had that Mason Rudolph just absolutely spiked the ball into the ground on. And it was not even 6 yards away from his target. And they were within the 5-yard line of Detroit. He's not even 6 yards away from the guy who's trying to throw the ball to, and he throws it right into the dirt. That's absolutely on Mason Rudolph. I completely forgot about that for a second. That was an awful play. It should have been Pittsburgh winning regulation. Pittsburgh just makes that play. But Mason Rudolph, again, being the bad quarterback that he is, messes that up. And you cannot objectively say he's a good quarterback. He's not. He's a career backup at best. What else do I want to talk about? I'm sorry. I'm very hot right now. I apologize for that. What else? Oh, yeah, the tackling right before halftime with Minka Fitzpatrick and Devin Bush. That was awful. That whole drive for Detroit had going to halftime was terrible on Pittsburgh's defense. That was atrocious. And frankly, the defense, I didn't think played that well today. I know they allowed only 16 points, but considering what Detroit was doing offensively, Pittsburgh's defense did not play that well today. They really did. They gave up 229 rushing yards, which Detroit has not had over 200 rushing yards in a game since 2018. It just was not. Pass rush was solid. Pass rush was solid. TJ Watt obviously getting hurt didn't help late in the game. Hopefully he's good. Hopefully he's not a long-term injury. Hopefully he's all right. Things look initially kind of positive. It's a hip injury, I think they classified it as. So at least it's not an ACL or anything like that. Not like what happened to Chase Young today, unfortunately. Cameron Hayward had a monster game. He was fantastic. But other guys on the defense really didn't step up. I mean, Minka Fitzpatrick this year, if he wants a long-term extension, he's not going to get a record-setting deal or anywhere close to it based on how he's performed this year. And Minka Fitzpatrick has not been good this year. People give PFF a lot of crap for having Minka Fitzpatrick have a low grade this year, but their grading system is consistent across all players. And the players who are in all-pro consideration this year have high grades. Minka Fitzpatrick does not because he's been bad this year. And another guy who's been bad this year and has never improved really at this point is Devin Bush. I am done with Devin Bush. I defended Devin Bush so much in the offseason, saying, and early in this year too, saying, hey, look, he missed on half last year. He only had a year and a half of experience coming into the season. He needs more time. Well, now he's got, over 2 full years of experience, and he's the same player. He's making the same mistakes, and he's not good. He's got the athleticism, but he's not good in coverage. He's too slight he doesn't put up any resistance in the run game. So his tackling's way off. I don't understand what redeemable quality does Devin Bush have right now that would earn him the 5th year of his contract, or his rookie contract. I don't think he has one. So Pittsburgh probably is not going to pick up his 5th year rookie option. Despite the fact they traded up to get him, he has not earned that option. So, oh man, but that Dan Moore Jr. had a holding call that if he just hadn't done, Najee Harris might have still scored. Najee Harris scored a touchdown that got called back because of a Dan Moore hold. If he had not held there, there's still a chance Najee Harris scores the touchdown, and even if he doesn't, Pittsburgh's still in a good spot to potentially score on the next play. Dan Moore Jr., who's a rookie playing left tackle mostly, has been bad this year. He's been bad. He's a bad left tackle. He's a below-average left tackle. And Kendrick Green at center, who I defended quite a bit because I was very excited for him because he was so good in college, has been bad this year as well. So the two rookie offensive linemen who are, granted, still rookies, I understand they have to develop and adjust. And it's not easy to make that jump from college to the pros along the offensive line, but they've both been horrible this year. They really have. And Kendrick Green had a couple of high snaps today, including one late in the overtime where he throws it right over Mason Rudolph's head. And it's ridiculous. I mean, that cannot happen at that point in the game. You cannot allow that to happen. But he did. So Kendrick Green has just been a huge disappointment. Dan Moore Jr. has been basically what I expected him to be. He's not that good. But, taking him in the 4th round, rookie left tackle, you wouldn't expect him to be that good anyways. Good game by Najee Harris. I thought Najee Harris had another good game. Diontae Johnson was all right, but again, the fumbling. Diontae Johnson fumbles the ball, gives Detroit a chance to win. Detroit obviously doesn't actually take advantage of it because they're Detroit. But Diontae Johnson fumbles on what should have been a play that would set Pittsburgh up to win the game. Then Pat Freiermuth inexplicably fumbles on what should have been a play to set Pittsburgh up to win the game. So, really, it wasn't even Mason Rudolph. Yeah, Mason Rudolph played a role in losing this game because he had that one horrible pass. So Mason Rudolph certainly did not help. But you cannot blame Mason Rudolph for the majority of the issues today. The run defense was god-awful. It was not there whatsoever. Cam Hayward and T.J. Watt, when he's healthy, were the only guys making plays in the run game. Diontae Johnson and Pat Freiermuth both turned the ball over when Pittsburgh had a chance to win the game at crucial moments. That's on them. I don't think anyone else can't really call anyone else individually for this one. Maybe say, why Pittsburgh not adjust initially at halftime. Looked like eventually we got the running game under control. But Detroit even came out in the 3rd quarter, was still running the ball well. And I don't know why we didn't adjust that. Maybe we just don't have the personnel for that. I'm surprised the defense actually held up as well as it did late in the game, because the past couple of weeks, the issue has been the defense coming out and being flat-footed in the second half. It happened against Chicago. It happened against Geno Smith and Seattle. Where, what was it? I was thinking, is the issue conditioning? What is it? Because Pittsburgh came out and was awful defensively in the second half in both those games. And they just looked tired. And they did initially in the 3rd quarter, but eventually pulled it together here in this one. Granted, playing Jared Goff kind of helps out with that, but I don't know. Pittsburgh, you could say Pittsburgh should have won this game in regulation had Mason Rudolph just made a throw some high school quarterbacks could make, honestly. Just a few yards downfield in the end zone instead of throwing the ball right into the dirt. You could say Pittsburgh should have won in overtime one time before Detroit missed their field goal. You could say Detroit should have won in overtime because of the field goal miss. And you should say Pittsburgh could have won again in overtime before Pat Freiermuth fumbled the ball. So, I'm so done with this team. I'm not even sure if I'm going to do a video reacting to this, the game next week, because I just don't want to. I just don't want to watch this team. There are better games out there that I missed seeing mostly today to try to watch this Pittsburgh game. I don't want to do that again next week. I just don't want to. It's a waste of time. I do like Pittsburgh a lot, obviously, but I like good football even more. Pittsburgh has not played a lot of good football this year. So, I don't know. I'll probably will watch Pittsburgh anyways. I'll probably watch the game anyways, but it's Los Angeles next week. Oh, it's a Sunday night game. Well, now I have no excuse. I have to watch it. All right. I guess I will be watching next week, but I don't know. I think every Pittsburgh fan has a right to be ticked off here. It's a home game in Pittsburgh. It's raining. Detroit's the team that plays in a dome. They're 0-8 going to the game. How do you only get them 16-16? Even with Mason Rudolph at quarterback. Big Ben. Ben Roethlisberger at this point. How old is Ben? He's 38 or 39 years old, right? Let's see. He is 39 years old. So he's a 39-year-old quarterback who can't throw the ball 40 yards downfield without underthrowing it. The drop-off between him and Mason Rudolph probably is not huge, although I do think Ben makes that throw that Mason Rudolph missed at the goal line. So I think Ben does the little things better than Mason Rudolph does at this point. Even if Rudolph's a little more mobile and has a bit of a stronger arm. But, I mean, even if Ben's in this game, maybe they win in regulation because he'll hit that throw. Because Pittsburgh ended up kicking a field goal instead of taking that touchdown. But maybe they win. I can't guarantee they would win if Ben was in there. And frankly, that's a reflection of how bad this team has been. You know, this is not a team that inspires me to think, oh, they're going to win some of these games down the road. They will eventually. They'll beat Minnesota. They might split with Baltimore just for some reasons. They might beat Cleveland again because Cleveland got blown out today. Maybe they'll get revenge on the Bengals. Who knows? But it's just like, really? You beat Chicago by 2. You tied Detroit. You beat the Seattle Seahawks with Geno Smith at quarterback by 3. You almost gave up a comeback to the Denver Broncos. I mean, why should I believe in this team right now? Is that they're going to pull something off and make the playoffs here. Now, I think they still have a good shot because it's Mike Tomlin and because it's the Pittsburgh Steelers, but, I mean, depending on how long Claypool's going to be out, if Tuitt's never coming back, then, I mean, heck, we're in trouble. You know, this has not been a very good team this year, despite what the record says. So, I'll just leave it there. Overall, I feel dead inside. I think every Pittsburgh Steelers fan does at this point. There's just no way to react to it differently. I mean, really, Pittsburgh could have won the game 3 different ways, and they didn't. They blew it every time. Yep. Yeah, that's enough for today. I'm going to go watch some real football. All right, guys. Talk to you later.